The Council's Deception Admiral Elias Kor stood on the observation deck of Earth Command Station, staring at the swirl of stars beyond the viewport. Human colonies gleamed like tiny jewels across nearby star systems. Spaceports buzzed with activity. Cargo vessels glided smoothly along trade routes, and exploratory fleets prepared for new frontiers. For decades, humanity had been a model member of the Galactic Council, loyal, innovative, and effective. Yet today, the calm of that view felt false. Elias could sense the tension in the air, a weight pressing down on every human presence in the room. Beside him, Captain Ryland Shea adjusted his jacket, eyes flicking between the star maps projected above the holographic display. "Admiral," Ryland said, "all Council representatives are online for the session. They've summoned us to report on our recent expansion efforts." Elias took a deep breath. "We've done nothing wrong," he said quietly. "We've followed protocols, respected the borders, maintained trade, defended allies. They have no reason to question us." "Reason," Ryland muttered, "has little to do with politics in the Galactic Council." At that moment, Dr. Mira Voss, humanity's chief scientist, entered the deck carrying a slim data tablet. Her face, normally calm, betrayed unease. "Admiral," she said, "Council intelligence just flagged unusual activity near the outer colonies. They've requested a full briefing immediately." Elias nodded and turned toward the main communications console. With a few swift commands, the massive viewports shifted, revealing the grand chamber of the Galactic Council. 47 alien representatives awaited, each species a testament to the galaxy's diversity. Some resembled crystalline towers that shimmered with internal light. Others were insectoid with multiple limbs clicking impatiently. Some were formless clouds contained in force fields, but all of them shared the same expression: detachment, authority, and a hint of disdain. The council speaker, a towering Velkari elder with 6 limbs glinting in the chamber's light, addressed the human delegation. Her voice, translated into human speech, carried a calm but icy tone. "Admiral Kor, Captain Shea, Dr. Voss, humanity's recent expansion has raised serious concerns. Your colonies have grown too fast, your technology too advanced, and your influence among neutral systems is excessive. This council has determined that your species poses a destabilizing force in interstellar relations." Elias felt a chill run down his spine. "Excessive?" he asked, steadying his voice. "We have followed every council treaty. We have defended council systems, shared knowledge freely, and prevented conflicts wherever possible." "How can this be destabilizing?" The Velkari elder tilted her head. "Balance must be maintained. Progress without oversight breeds imbalance. Therefore, the Council has voted to restrict all human expansion beyond your core systems. Effective immediately, all human colonies in frontier space will be placed under temporary Council administration. Your fleets will be limited to defensive duties within designated zones. Human scientists and engineers will require Council authorization for any new technology development." A stunned silence filled the human observation deck. Elias clenched his fists, trying to control his anger. Ryland's eyes narrowed and Mira's fingers tightened around her data tablet. "You mean," Elias said slowly, "you are taking control of colonies that humans built? With our blood, sweat, and years of labor, you are redirecting technology we developed to alien powers? You call this balance?" The council speaker's tone was cold. "This is necessary. Your success has outpaced the council's ability to regulate it. We act to preserve order." Mira Voss took a step forward. "Order? You're punishing us for being capable. You fear our ingenuity." Several representatives in the chamber shifted uncomfortably, but none dared challenge the Velkari. Only a crystalline delegate emitted a soft chime, a sound that might have been sympathy. Elias turned away from the viewport, his mind racing. Humanity had invested decades into these colonies, building infrastructure, terraforming worlds, and integrating systems across hundreds of light years. Now all of it was being stripped away in a single calculated move. "Sir," Ryland said quietly, "what options do we have? The Council's decision is final. They can enforce it. If we resist, they'll declare war immediately." Elias paced the deck. "Options," he muttered. "We have one. We can comply and hope for mercy, or we can remind the galaxy why humans are never to be underestimated." He stopped, staring at the holographic star map. "The Council thinks they've trapped us, but they've underestimated human resilience and our ingenuity." Mira's brow furrowed. "You mean retaliate?" Elias nodded. Not blindly, strategically. The Council doesn't know what we've been working on for the last 10 years. Slipstream corridors, subspace ruptures, experimental drives capable of traversing distances the Council believes impossible. Ryland's eyes widened. The Slipstream Initiative? Yes, Elias said. We've mapped routes beyond Council reach. Dangerous routes, most species wouldn't dare attempt them. But humans thrive where others fail. We'll disappear from their sight, move beyond their control and establish new colonies in the unexplored regions. We'll build our own future, on our terms. Mira's voice shook slightly, though determination shone through. It's risky. A failure rate above 30% could mean total loss of ships and crew. But success means freedom. Elias turned to face both of them, his gaze intense. We have no choice. If we stay, we'll be broken. If we act, we might die. But if we succeed, we'll secure humanity's future. Within hours, Operation Vanguard was activated. Human engineers worked tirelessly to outfit vessels with slip drives. Pilots underwent rigorous simulations, navigating corridors of unstable space-time and holographic replicas. Scientists like Mira Voss refined navigational algorithms, calculating every possible contingency. Meanwhile, political leaders on Earth held tense discussions. The prime ministers and council representatives debated the ethics of disappearing without approval. If we fail, one minister warned, the council will annihilate us. Admiral Elias Corr responded calmly, if we fail, it will be because we underestimated ourselves. But to do nothing, to surrender our destiny, that is certain failure. Humanity has never been defeated by fear, only by inaction. Days turned into weeks. Prototype ships, sleek, silver-hulled and armed with experimental defensive systems, were positioned at hidden orbital platforms. Captain Ryland Shea oversaw pilot readiness, ensuring every crew member understood the risks and the stakes. The smallest mistake in a slip corridor could tear a ship apart. Finally, the first vessel, the Vanguard, prepared to engage the slip drive. Crew members tightened harnesses, double-checked systems, and exchanged tense glances. Elias walked among them, offering quiet words of encouragement. Remember, he said, we venture into unknown space. The Council believes they have power over us, but they do not. Humanity does not wait for permission to survive. We create our own destiny. Trust yourselves, trust each other, and trust our ingenuity. Today we step into a future they cannot control. Lieutenant Kara Miles, the ship's navigator, nodded. Coordinates set. Slip corridor stable.
Initiating sequence in 5,
4, 3. A shiver ran through the ship as the engines charged, a low hum building into a resonance that made every crew member feel the vibration in their bones. Light began to bend around the hull, reality seeming to ripple like water disturbed by a stone. At 1, the Vanguard vanished from normal space, leaving behind only a faint shimmer. On the observation deck of Earth Command Station, Admiral Corr, Captain Shea, and Dr. Voss watched the tracking feed, which now displayed only a void. Mira whispered. It worked. Elias allowed himself a rare smile. It worked. And now, he said quietly, we take the first step in reclaiming humanity's destiny. The Council will soon learn that betrayal only awakens human resolve. As the stars outside the viewport seemed to stretch and shimmer, the first ripple of Operation Vanguard surged into the unknown. Humanity had been betrayed, but betrayal had sparked a fire that no Council decree could extinguish. The first part of humanity's grand countermeasure was complete. The real challenge and the true test of human resilience had just begun. Operation Vanguard initiates. The Vanguard shimmered in the void as the slip drive completed its first jump. Outside the viewport, stars bent and twisted, stretching into streaks of light. Crew members held their breath, gripping consoles as the hum of the engines resonated through the ship. For a moment, the silence of space seemed to expand into eternity. Admiral Elias Corr stood on the command bridge, eyes scanning the navigation readouts. Status, he asked, voice steady despite the tension. Lieutenant Kara Miles adjusted a holographic display. Coordinates confirmed. We've emerged outside the Council's mapped systems. Sensors show stable space. Slip corridors are holding. A cheer erupted from the crew. Captain Ryland Shea allowed himself a brief smile. We did it. We actually did it. Elias's expression remained sober. This is only the beginning. The Council thinks we've disappeared. That gives us an advantage, but only for a short time. We need to establish forward bases and expand quickly before they realize we're gone. Meanwhile, on Earth, Council communications erupted with confusion and alarm. Reports showed human fleets disappearing from monitored systems. Council analysts scrambled to track them, but every attempt failed. Subspace corridors had made humanity invisible, moving like shadows beyond the Council's reach. Back aboard the Vanguard, Dr. Mira Voss activated a series of probes. Sensors indicate several uncharted systems nearby, she said. Planets suitable for colonization. Resources are abundant and radiation levels are low. We can establish our first hidden colony within 2 standard weeks. Rylan leaned back in his chair. A hidden colony. So we're starting over. In secret? Elias nodded. Exactly. The Council expects submission. Instead, we'll build new colonies, develop new technology, and ensure humanity survives on its own terms. They won't know what we're capable of until it's too late. Over the next several days, the Vanguard led a fleet of slip-capable vessels through dangerous corridors. Each jump was risky. The slightest miscalculation could strand a ship in void space or tear it apart. Yet humanity's crews adapted quickly. Their ingenuity, problem-solving skills, and relentless determination allowed them to navigate corridors that no other species dared approach. On a newly discovered world, lush and uninhabited, humans set up orbital platforms, research stations, and colony ships. Dr. Voss led the effort to establish the first colony outside Council control. Engineers worked tirelessly, designing self-sustaining habitats, energy generators, and defensive systems in case the Council discovered their location. This planet will be our sanctuary, Mira said quietly to Elias as they watched construction progress. From here we can explore, expand, and prepare for whatever the Council sends. Elias placed a hand on her shoulder. And we will. Humanity doesn't wait for permission. We survive, we adapt, we thrive. That's what we do. Not long after, intelligence reports indicated the first reconnaissance fleets from the Council approaching the hidden systems. A team of alien ships had picked up faint energy signatures in slipspace corridors. Humanity would be tested sooner than they expected. Captain Shea led the human fleet in tactical formation. They think they can catch us, he said, eyes blazing with determination. They don't know we've been planning this for years. The first engagement was swift and calculated. Human ships, smaller and more agile, used the corridors to appear unexpectedly behind the Council fleet. Torpedo volleys and energy pulses struck with precision. The alien ships, trained to fight in conventional space, were unable to respond effectively to the unpredictable movements of human vessels. Elias monitored the battle from the command deck. Focus on disabling, not destroying. We want to send a message without provoking total war. Yet, after the skirmish, only a few Council ships remained operational. Human crews celebrated quietly. They had proven not just to the Council but to themselves that human adaptability and strategy were unmatched. Weeks turned into months. Humanity established multiple colonies in hidden systems. Each planet offered new resources and opportunities. Scientists like Mira Voss discovered mineral deposits useful for advanced propulsion systems. Engineers experimented with weapon systems and defensive shields. Pilots trained rigorously, simulating encounters with alien fleets. The hidden colonies became a network of human ingenuity, innovation, and resilience. Admiral Kor convened a council among human leaders. The Council believes they control the galaxy, he said. They think we are trapped and compliant. But we've taken the first steps in showing them otherwise. We have colonies, fleets, and technology they cannot reach. Now it's time to plan the next phase, reclaiming strategic systems and showing the galaxy humanity's strength. Mira Voss presented schematics for an experimental ship capable of navigating multiple slipstream corridors in rapid succession. If deployed carefully, this ship can strike deep into Council-allied territory, she said. We can test offensive operations without risking our main fleet. Elias nodded. Prepare a team. I want the best pilots and engineers. We're taking the fight to them, but we do it smartly. Captain Shea volunteered immediately. I'll lead the strike. Nothing excites me more than showing the galaxy humans are not to be underestimated. The mission was risky. The strike team would navigate unstable corridors into Council-allied space, strike a strategic supply depot, and return without being detected. Failure could mean total loss, but human determination outweighed fear. 3 days later, the strike team entered the first slip corridor. The corridors twisted reality, and even seasoned pilots felt a tremor of unease. Yet Ryland's instincts and training guided the ship safely through. Emerging near the target, the human fleet executed a flawless attack. Energy disruptors disabled enemy defense platforms, boarding teams sabotaged critical systems, and the mission concluded without human casualties. The strike sent shockwaves through Council intelligence networks. Reports of the mysterious attack circulated, but the Council could not locate the fleet responsible. Panic spread among member species. Humans had vanished only to strike unpredictably from nowhere. Elias watched the newsfeed, a small smile playing at his lips. This is only the beginning. Let them fear the unknown. We control our destiny now. Back at the hidden colonies, humans celebrated not just victory but survival, ingenuity, and freedom. Colonists laughed, worked, and explored new worlds with a renewed sense of purpose. The trials imposed by the Council had forged them stronger. They had not only survived betrayal, they had turned it into opportunity. Weeks later, the Council convened an emergency session. The Velkari speaker's voice trembled slightly as reports streamed in. Humanity, they have disappeared from our grids, and yet, attacks continue. Ambassadors whispered among themselves, panic evident. The crystal delegates emitted chimes of alarm, while insectoid leaders clicked mandibles nervously. They had underestimated humans for the last time. In the newly established forward base, Admiral Kor addressed his officers. The Council thought they could contain us. They thought betrayal would break our spirit. They were wrong. Humanity does not bow. Humanity does not wait for permission. And humanity will decide its own place in the galaxy. Captain Shea stepped forward. What's next, Admiral? Elias looked toward the horizon, where stars stretched infinitely. Next, we secure our borders. Then we explore further. And finally, we remind the galaxy why humans are never to be underestimated. The crew understood. Humanity had survived the first test of betrayal. Operation Vanguard was in motion and the galaxy would never be the same. As slipstream corridors shimmered around their hidden systems, humans built, fought, and explored. The Council's betrayal had been intended to destroy them, but instead, it had sparked a force the galaxy could not contain. The seeds of revenge, freedom, and boundless human ingenuity were sown. And from those seeds, a new era for humanity had begun, one that no alien power could stop.